Good afternoon, everyone. MVP here. It's Sunday, the 28th of August in the UK, in the south coast. I live on the south coast by the sea. Just want to give you a quick update of the week's trading, what's been happening, and also just give you an update on my triple Corrie, the 3 duck Corrie, and just let you see how that one's going. There's been a lot of interest in that, and I just wanted to revisit that as well in this very quick session, 15-minute video. Just to remind you, my name is MVP. That is my call sign, my avatar. You can see there the little chap there painting all the fancy pictures on a currency strength meter, which I've had really from day one, using that as a call sign. I'm available at FXcorrelator@gmail.com if you want to email me, and go to my website FXcorrelator.com and just go through the areas here, and it just gives you an update of who I am, what I do. Just want to remind you on the free links and systems, gives you a link through to Beginner's Guide to Trading there, my Trade to Win forum, where I've been since about, well, originally 2004 I think, Trade to Win, but I kind of pulled something together by about 2008-9 there. Some of my YouTube videos, I've got a YouTube site, again go look for FXcorrelator, which is my free indicator strength meter, and you'll find me there, and loads of other stuff, free indicators there. I'm also at Forex Factory, so if you click on there you'll see my scalping thread there. I've also got a scalping, a more generic, more scalping orientated thread at Trade to Win as well. I'll try and keep you up to date. Triple Corrie indicator there, free trading system there, free indicator links there. So plenty of freebies for people, which I hope you find useful. Contact me here, my blog, where I talk about various things and normally drop a few training videos on, and also training. I'm talking about, if you want to look there, it'll tell you what I'm proposing to do next year, and I'm looking to run a couple of courses next year. Back to the CV. So if you want to subscribe, just drop down here. I promise not to sell you anything. I'm not here to sell, I'm not affiliated to anyone. Just join the subscribe here, and I'll send you every 2 or 3 weeks I'll send you an update how it's going, what's going on in the market, and also just give you an update as to where and when I'm going to be doing the training, 2017. So that's hopefully on schedule. Depends. I've got a consulting business as well, where I'm a qualified accountant, and I give a lot of I still give advice to a lot of large corporates. I've worked for a lot of large corporates over the years, and I tend to be able to offer that consultancy service to them on a short-term basis, and I'm pretty busy this year. So, but hopefully next year I'll be turning more to full-time trading again, and that gives me more time then to teach and mentor people, which I enjoy doing. It helps me a lot because it keeps me fresh, and hopefully it helps other people a lot, the people I'm helping. Give them a bit of an insight. I've been really looking at markets since the 1980s, when I was on the Shell trading floor as back office support, working with their traders. So I've kind of been there and seen most things over the years. Got into Forex early 2000s, and been there ever since. That's about 15-16 years now, trading Forex. Anyway, enough of that. Let's take a look at the week, shall we? Okay, this is the week. This is not my standard free FX correlator. This is an FX correlator basically that I can set to a 0 start. So this is back at the start of the week there. So that's the 22nd, 21st coming into 22nd. I hit that, and that zeroizes everything. And from now on, you're looking at pretty much the unskewed. This is pure price movement of all 8 currencies. You know the 8 currencies now. I'm not going to bore you with colours. I'm not going to bore you at all. So you can see them all here, what's going on, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a look through this, starting. So I just want to get that sorted out up there, guys, and show you the colour. There they go. There's the colours, the 8 colours there. So if you're not sure which colour one of these is, just have a look up here. You can see your colours. And we'll start here, and also you see these lines moving around. Well, these across to the right here, you hopefully can see the values there. Just change colors there to make it more obvious. I hope you can see those numbers there. If you kind of enlarge your screen, you can probably see that. These are actually the pips. Okay, this is how far these currencies have diverged in the day, either going south. So this indicates obviously these guys are sells, that they are selling. They are below 0 for the week, and these guys are north. They are therefore bull currencies. They are moving north. You can see there the red GBP very evident this week. So therefore I'm going to move this around a bit during the conversation to show you how far these guys have gone. Obviously by combining anything that's bullish with anything that's bearish, that's a hell of a trend, and that's a hell of a trade. Okay, So let's have a look and see how we went. Very quickly, Monday. Monday's notoriously low volatility normally, but not this Monday. Yeah, the Asian session was pretty light. Nothing really got outside the 20s or 30s either side, but it opened up very nicely into early London, and we had a very bull sterling through the London session, guys. By the time we came into the US, it was up at about 60-70 pips, which is very good for a Monday. Believe me, I wish it was like that every week. And down here, well, you know, stuff was taking a while to emerge, but eventually the brown CAD came very south. CAD had a really bad day actually. What did we get down to? We're getting down to about 90 to 100 pip fall, quite significant, going all the way through the London market, and very significant early on in the US market. And then it flattened a bit. It ranged here, and that's really, when you look up here, you can see there's a big spike on NZD there. But apart from that, the afternoon session was pretty light. Let's go into Tuesday. Here we go. So coming through the Asian session here, again fairly flat. See the green USD coming off a sell here, so that was quite an interesting signal into early London. And the CAD slowly, well, it's fighting, isn't it? It's ranging slowly upwards there. But really the story, and let's just quickly push in here. Around 5ish. This is a +1 on this chart, guys, so that's 5 o'clock, so that's about 6 o'clock there. You see there from about 6, you can see from 6 o'clock, you can see that sterling was the buy all the way through the day. Tuesday, great day for sterling, and that was your buy. If I'd have been scalping, I wasn't scalping much this week. I would have been on sterling, looking for the opportunities to buy into it all day against appropriate currencies. Just looking through, there's nothing really that strikes me. I mean, USD obviously kept coming off. It's coming off from Monday, kept going down, but then it rallied and started to come up, definitely in the US session. But nothing else really evident. The blue euro there pretty weak, and as you can see, CAD especially got into early US. Really quite a lot of bull signals here came up there. So that was a good move there, buying into the CAD if you were so if you were so kind of justified into doing that, if you felt that was where you wanted to be. Okay, we got into Wednesday, and by this stage everybody's asking themselves, how much has sterling got, how much in the tank this week? We're up into the 130s by now. So if you found 2 or 3 decent currencies, especially selling the USD here, if you come in quite early, you decided to come quite early from about this area, the USD by now has come down into the 50s. These guys, there could easily be a 100 pip move there if you picked it up at the right point. Yeah, so there's been some great runs here. Question was, how far has it got? Okay, came into US session, came into Asian. I'm going to bring this across to the start roughly of London. Early London is about there, guys. Ooh, about there. So inevitably there's a little bit of a sell-off here. Okay, the Asian sterling was a little bit weaker. CAD was weaker, but as we came into early London session, look at that. I mean, that's amazing. You can talk about breach trading. Remember, price action can be used on currency indexes as well. It's not just reserved for normal markets like pairs and equities. To me, if I see this breach line here, so it came off about 20 pips. Then early London, it comes back on through. See a couple of moves there, high lows, low high, and then bang, off she goes. And that was just unstoppable, wasn't it? That's coming through from 130 there up to the high, 270 pip move, 70 pip move through London session. Again, it's the only currency you're really going to be buying strongly through that session. You had 70 pips there to play with before it weakened. And looking down here, you can see that there were quite a few currencies selling. The blue euro and the grey Swissy were big sells Wednesday. US came off a bit, rallied back. The yen strangely flat. I mean, I'm just gonna change this for a second. Just gonna bring these lines down, guys. Look how. Bear with me. Look across to the right there. Look at those scores. I'm just looking for the yellow yen at the back. Yellow yen at the back there. I know it's a bit tight and a bit fiddly, but bear with me. So +18, -18. That's about a 30 pip spread on yen. That is atrocious for the yen. There was very low volatility in the yen up to this point. Okay. That's not what I look for. I mean, the yen is a currency I look to when I'm scalping a lot. I like the energy and the volatility of yen. Normally it's much more aggressive than this, and I look generally to either play the USD against it or the euro because of the spreads and my scalping. But this would have been a very poor week for me. Any trades, I would have been relying obviously on sterling, which I find a very volatile currency, and anything else that came along. CAD can be very volatile. But yeah, I mean the yen atrocious. Even in, you see, it's just the yellow. If you can see the yellow in there, it's getting a bit mixed up with the orange Aussie D there, but it's just not getting out, is it? I mean, look at the others. Everything else is getting out and about above these kind of levels, but yen's not really happening this week. But anyway, as an aside, that's the yen. But again, you know, Wednesday, big play on sterling, and actually, as it turned out, that was the high for the week there by the Wednesday, up at 200 pips from opens on the Sunday night, Monday morning. Okay. And as I commented on, you know, on Wednesday, selling off the other European currencies, the euro and the Swissy would have been good. And again, CAD coming south again. You see here the brown CAD. It's never really come back much. It came back much on Tuesday. It came back on Tuesday, but again, it's being sold off again. Yeah, so there you have it. And these guys, very clearly the sales going into Thursday. Okay, 3 currencies there. And in terms of what is bull, I mean, my God, look at it. Sterling is ruling the roost. You've got some turquoise NZD here. Which is separated, interestingly, from the Aussie D. NZD is more volatile than Aussie D. They do move together in pretty tight correlation normally, positive correlation, but it's usually got a little bit more wind in its sails than the Aussie D, that's for sure. So there's the other buy, okay, at this point. Very quickly, Thursday, well, as I said, sterling comes back up, early Asian, tests or tries to test the high here and it doesn't, and then big sell off, sells off through London as well, and selling off all through the day generally. So as long as you were, you know, trading shorter time frames, as I would be when I'm scalping, because I'm only really looking at the last few hours when I scalp as opposed to the week, I would have been aggressively selling sterling through the London session. And down here I would have been looking for currencies. Again, most currencies tending to recover. So that's what they call consolidation in the market. And what do I mean by consolidation? Well, you've got a plus 200 up here. You've got most currencies around the 90s to 100. So there's a 300 pip spread there between the highest and the lowest. When I say consolidation, I mean that all the currencies tend to be moving inwards. If you get to about the middle here of the session for Thursday, can you see now it's much more tighter? We're down to a 200 pip spread now for everything. Okay, so that's what I mean, 300 to 200. Okay, I know sterling's driving that a lot, but generally when you're looking about averages and so on, it is bringing the market back in consolidation phase. So you look to retrace. You're looking to retrace some of your big moves on the week. So anyway, that was Thursday, and then Friday. Where did we go? Well, I'm just going to step that out of the way for a second. Friday was interesting. I mean, sterling's tried to fight back, but again, around some of these kind of this area here, which is a kind of resistance level, never gets up there. It got up there towards the end, so a bit of a mixed bag. What do we got? I'm just looking down to see if there was anything interesting. Swissy. Bouncing along here, came off very quite a sell there. Euro sells as well, coming into early US session. In terms of the US, you can see that the US dollar here bounced significantly. It was very volatile. It got down to about minus 60s on the week, and then bounced back up dramatically early US session. About 130, 140 pip move there. Phenomenal move on the US dollar. Obviously, if you do trade forex, you have to be very close to what's going on in the market. There is the Jackson Hole conference at the moment going on in the US, where they talk about just about anything and everything to do with the dollar and money. And Yellen there, who's the Fed chair. She's been talking away. They call it the Jackson Hole Symposium, actually, if you want to be really correct. But she's been making a few announcements and a few comments saying that there could be potential for a rate hike in September for the US dollar. And obviously, when people hear that, that's very good news, hawkish news, yeah, positive news for the dollar, and that's what happened. So it just shows how comments, you know, the NFP is normally notorious on a Friday for making this happen, but actually it was Janet Yellen's comments that made that happen, guys. Obviously currencies are a zero-sum game, so if you have one currency with such a major move, some of the other currencies are going to pay for it, and most of them kind of averaged out. The Swissy took most pain. See here, Swissy's probably the yen inevitably took a hit there. So that was that. By the way, just to finish, I've just expanded Friday. Do you remember I was telling you that we were on about an 18-19 range on the yellow yen? Can you see finally on Friday yen started to pop outside to the south? So I would have been very alerted to a bearish yen here, and actually as the Jackson Hole Symposium, as the news started to come out, the yen started to go into action. And as you can see here, really, it was a good sell. I mean, again, that's not much. We're only coming off about 40 pips there, but that's more than enough. You know, you can get a good move there. So I would have been hunting the yen for sells on Friday, especially into US session. Finally, after a whole week, the yen gives us a little volatility. So that's the week. In summary, buying GBP, definitely big buys on the GBP, and really anything you could get your hands on with it. Came off at the back end of the week, but really as a currency trader, you look to make your money early week, because during the rest of the week, apart from the spike on the USD on Friday, it tended to quieten down a bit. Okay, very quickly, I'm going to talk three ducks. If you want to find the three ducks, go to my website, FXcorrelator.com, go to my free links and systems page, and come down to somewhere here, free triple Corrie indicator, yeah, and that will take you through to an update on how this system works. Okay, there's a full explanation if you go to those links, but I just very quickly want to show you what this does up here. Is it shows you 3 time frames, all on a 60 moving average. So you've got your 4 hour, your 1 hour, and your 5 minute. If you get these ducks aligned all in the same line, that shows you a very strong, obviously, trend for the particular currency. Just wanted to flag this week. This is the 4 hour, okay, time frame. So this is the highest time frame. Okay, this is the one which steers the market, and from this side, and from where these arrows are, that was the start of this trading week. Okay, so this is the new week, and I just wanted to show you the steerage. Can you see how in the early part of the week here, literally as we came in, can you see how strong sterling was? It had been strong last week, the end of last week, as a 4 hour steer, so it's above the zero. See this zero line here? Anything above the zero you buy. That's a buy signal. Came in, and just see how strong it was all the way through the week. So your arrow here, the 240 arrow, which is 240 minutes, 4 hours, that's been permanently on buy all the way through the week. So all you were looking to do was get these other 2 lines in lower time frames aligned. See how it came off later on in the week? So by about Thursday, I think we're about here, you really weren't getting a signal to buy this. Yeah, the other signals would have come off. Okay, the lower time frames would have indicated a sell on sterling. So that really kept you in the game. I was just looking through other things here. Can you see how the CAD early part of Monday came south? And as you can see again, for the rest of the week, come up here, the 240 indicating south. So again, it would have had you in the CAD as well, looking for those CAD trades, trying to find the best pairs to work with the CAD. USD, you can see here for most of the week, apart from the end there when we had the announcement from Jackson Hole came up. But again, we were looking to generally sell USD. Really useful. Okay, but I've been giving a lot of thought to this, and I actually might make this as my lead next year to teach people how to trade, because this is probably my most robust indicator system. Most people understand it. This is really basic stuff. I've refined and honed this much tighter than this, and a lot of people always say, how do I enter, how do I exit? I've got a full and complete kind of package around this one that I've used for higher time frames. I don't use it for scalping, but I can assure you it's very effective if you want to be generically trading strength meters on various time frames. And I will probably go into that more next year. I'll probably offer that as a separate course, because there's a lot of learning to it. It's not just as simple as this. There's a lot to it if you want to be professional at it and actually make serious money out of it. It's not just really just hitting these arrows. This is good, but there's a lot more to it. The devil's in the detail on this one. So I probably will be running that as my main course next year early on. But anyway, that's the 3 ducks, so I hope you appreciate that. So have a good weekend. Again, I'm busy next week. I'm still pretty full on consulting at the moment, because it's kind of a lot of pre-year end work going on as we set the plans for next year and actually try and firm up for the later on this year with the corporate I'm working with. So a lot of work on that at the moment. So I'm sorry I'm not scalping as much. I'm getting a couple of hours in the morning. That's about it. Not much time to post or do anything else. But I will answer all your emails and messages you send me. Thank you for all your kind messages and emails. Get back to you as much as I can and as soon as I can. But otherwise, have a great week this week ahead, and be safe out there because it's a tough market. Cheers guys, bye.